Japan 2011, Haiti 2010, Turkey 2023. HAARP magnetometer data shows identical patterns 48 hours before each quake. This isn't a coincidence, it's a signature. Check the data yourself before they scrub it. A single high-definition projection glows against a wall. It is the raw data. Focus on the spike. 3 waveforms are overlaid, time synced to 3 different global catastrophes. They are not similar. They are identical. This is the truth they hide in plain sight. The investigation begins not with a conspiracy theorist in a dark room, but with data logs, verifiable and publicly available. They hide the secrets in plain sight. They rely on the sheer volume of information to bury the one unifying thread. The room itself is a monument to the mundane nature of global espionage. Plain gray walls, secure servers humming quietly, and a heavy-duty air filtration system, the only protection against intrusion being the complexity of the data itself. The narrator, measured and calm, slides a digital printout across a desk. It is a log from the HAARP facility in Gacona, Alaska, dated March 9, 2011. The official record calls the pattern a VLF-ULF spike, a common ionospheric disturbance. But the precise nature of the disturbance, the signature that occurred exactly 48 hours before the Tohoku catastrophic event, is anything but common. This 48-hour window is the critical piece of the puzzle, a temporal signature that separates random chance from controlled deployment. Any fluctuation outside of this window is irrelevant. This specificity demands a structural explanation. We zoom in on the spike. A rapid, unnaturally focused modulation of frequency, specifically targeting the Schumann Resonance band, the Earth's natural electromagnetic pulse. The energy signature is far too structured, far too uniform. Think of a massive drum being struck with a surgical hammer. It is engineered. It's like finding a human fingerprint on a cosmic object. The data shows not a sudden, erratic burst, but a controlled, ramped-up discharge that peaks at maximum efficiency before abruptly cutting off the action of a machine completing a precise task. This controlled intensity is the physical evidence of intent. Cross-reference this with the magnitude 7 earthquake that devastated Haiti in 2010. Go back exactly 48 hours. There it is again. The same isolated, high-frequency blast in the same exact spectrum, the same non-random event. Notice the exact power output calculation. The amount of energy deployed in Alaska correlates perfectly with the energy needed to destabilize the particular fault lines in the Caribbean, suggesting sophisticated, predictive modeling. And then, the final, chilling verification. The massive 2023 disaster in Turkey. 48 hours prior, the Gacona logs show the identical telltale spike, 3 of the largest seismic events of the past 15 years, separated by continents and years, all preceded by the same unique electromagnetic signature. This defies any conventional geological explanation. This is the definition of an anomaly. This is proof of coordination. We aren't talking about marginal differences. We are talking about a statistical probability of 1 in 600 million that this timing and frequency overlap is coincidental. The numbers betray the lie. The initial work is tedious. The cross-referencing of 3 disparate global disasters done over months, searching for the single, unifying, non-random signature that no one else was looking for. We show the late nights, the endless coffee, the quiet obsession with the data. It is a moment of pure, terrifying realization when the third log matches the first 2. The feeling is not excitement, but dread. The evidence confirms not a possibility, but a certainty. It confirms that global catastrophes are not always nature's whim, but sometimes a scheduled event. The narrator pauses, looking directly into the camera. The tone is confident, bordering on defiant. They explain the historical contradiction. Seismologists and political leaders scramble for days, offering vague explanations for these catastrophes, while the precise, pre-event frequency modulations sit there in a publicly accessible database, a ghost in the machine. The official reports cite deep Earth movement. Our evidence points to deep state interference. A message suddenly appears on a heavily encrypted laptop screen, disrupting the work. It is from an unknown source, zero traceable origin. The message contains a single, heavily redacted document titled Project Ionospheric Defense and Geologic Instability Mitigation. Despite the redactions, a single line remains legible. Operational frequency band 7.5 to 8.0 Hz, officially classified as experimental weather modification. This narrow band corresponds to the precise low-frequency band capable of penetrating the Earth's crust and reaching tectonic plates. This is the verification of the investigation needed. The anonymous source confirms the band of the 48-hour spike is known to military and intelligence agencies. It's not just a frequency, it's a tool. If the weight of this truth is too heavy to carry alone, hit subscribe. The narrator races to trace the anonymous message, but before they can, the terminal blinks. The encrypted tunnel is instantly deleted. The email address self-destructs. The source is gone. The screen fades to black, leaving a single, chilling thought. The people behind the secret are now aware the investigation has begun. Redigression, with added 77 daughters in 15. The firewall was breached for a moment, just long enough to deliver the classified information, and now the digital assassins are sweeping up the trace evidence. The investigation shifts from the anomaly, the signature spike, to the response, the decades-long cover-up designed to hide the existence of the weapon. A historical photograph flashes onto the screen. The original HAARP construction site, looking like a sprawling metal spiderweb in the Alaskan wilderness. This is juxtaposed with a modern glossy press release from a defense contractor denying any seismic capabilities, attributing all research to communication and atmospheric studies. The lie is obvious and well-funded. They call it advanced ionospheric testing. We call it Operation Tremor. The paper trail starts in the 90s. Budgetary documents detail millions of dollars in funding for what is innocuously termed ionospheric research. Over a 3-year period, the terminology suddenly shifts, becoming opaque and aggressive. Defense communication and high-frequency signal propagation. The funding surges. The paperwork disappears into the bureaucratic fog. Specifically, funding jumps 300% between 1996 and 1999, coinciding with the official termination of several other classified projects, meaning the money simply migrated to this new, untraceable umbrella. The key to the conspiracy is hidden in shell corporations. The narrator focuses on a specific name, Aurora Borealis Logistics. This seemingly innocuous shipping and supply company appears in the financial records, procuring specialized custom-built VLF, ULF frequency transmitters equipment far too powerful for standard communication. These transmitters are shipped not to government facilities, but to remote, commercially owned sites globally. The network is vast and decentralized. This distribution of equipment across 5 continents ensures plausible deniability, preventing any single political entity from being solely implicated, thereby protecting the core operators. Wait, one name keeps reappearing: Aurora Borealis Logistics. They are shipping high-frequency equipment, but the ultimate destination is a place that officially doesn't exist. The narrator performs a comparison. The original source documents, retrieved from dusty physical archives, are placed next to the currently scrubbed online versions. The online versions have strategic gaps, missing appendices, deleted funding lines, and replaced technical specifications. This is not accidental decay. This is censorship. The physical document contains a 9-page appendix detailing the power output necessary to affect subcrustal densities. The digital version replaces those 9 pages with a benign table of contents for a communications manual. A crucial citation is found in one of the old documents, a research paper on frequency harmonics from a Midwestern university in the late 90s. The narrator attempts to access the digital file via the university library. The screen shows a generic error page, a simple file not found. This denial of access is the proof of the crime. A quick search reveals the paper's author, a highly respected geophysicist, was placed on permanent leave shortly after the paper's disappearance, his career instantly silenced. The narrator switches tactics, using a secure dark web archive. an internet graveyard of forgotten or forcibly removed data. After painstaking minutes, the file loads. It is a paper titled Seismic Harmonic Analysis via Low-Frequency Ionospheric Injection. The abstract confirms the technical possibility of using the ionosphere to focus energy onto geological fault lines. The university paper was pulled down within 48 hours of its publication. The knowledge that this science is not theoretical, but proven, changes everything. The tension increases when an official statement from an earthquake-affected country is shown. The official, standing at a podium, directly refutes any suggestion of precursor atmospheric anomalies, dismissing the data as fantasy. The refutation is too fast, too specific, and too uniform across different nations to be organic. It reads like a coordinated global script, identical talking points delivered by officials who have never met. The forces against this investigation are global. If you want to support the fight for this truth to remain public, comment below and share this video. The investigation leads to a geographical location. The Shell Corporation's logistics logs show a large volume of shipping destined for a forgotten, decommissioned U.S. military facility in the high desert, miles from any population center. The facility is near the original HAARP site, but officially closed down in the early 2000s. The final logistics entry for this location is chilling: structural reinforcement and sub-level expansion. The last official satellite images show a flat, empty field, but the logistics logs show 5,000 tons of high-grade steel and concrete being delivered to that precise GPS coordinate. The only reason to reinforce a decommissioned building is to house something immensely heavy, immensely powerful, and immensely secret. The investigation is about to go physical. A sweeping, slow-motion shot reveals the desolate, officially abandoned facility exterior. It is a concrete wasteland, crumbling and forgotten. The sun beats down on the decaying asphalt, highlighting the massive, unnatural scale of the complex. The narrator's voice cuts through the silence. They want you to believe this is a museum piece. They want you to believe it's an empty shell, but what's underneath it is the engine of the operation. This is where the paper trail ends and the physical proof begins. This is the silent factory of disaster, hidden in plain sight, protected by miles of empty desert and bureaucratic deceit. The investigation turns to the structural anomalies. The narrator, using aerial thermal imaging, points out the discrepancy between the visible structure and the power infrastructure. The primary power conduit systems are vast, far too oversized for simple communication or weather research. The conduits are designed to handle the power output of a small city, channeled to a single central point. The conduits are 36 inches in diameter, the kind of infrastructure required for a nuclear reactor, not a radio mast. The team accesses an old facility maintenance tunnel, using it to get near the main building's foundation. They find a concrete sealed access point that does not appear on any public or even supposedly restricted blueprints. It is proof of a deeper, sealed-off subterranean level. The access point is protected not by standard steel, but by proprietary, non-standard lead shielding materials. Why shield a communication system? The shielding material is rated for extreme electromagnetic flux, suggesting the core activity generates incredible levels of focused, destructive energy that must be contained. The narrator brings out a specialized tool, a ground-penetrating radar, and slowly scans the concrete floor near the sealed access point. The screen lights up with a cross-section of the earth below. The device detects a massive, unnatural, cylindrical structure deep underground, spanning hundreds of feet, descending far below the official foundation. It is a high-density, metallic object too large to be a bunker, too engineered to be natural. It is the core mechanism of the system. This structure, which they spent millions to conceal, must be the main antenna, a colossal energy funnel reaching into the bedrock. The narrator is recording this discovery on a handheld camera. Suddenly, they stop. The lens focuses on a high ridge line, miles away. Parked silently on a distant access road is a black, unmarked SUV. It has been there for perhaps 10 minutes. Its windows are tinted, and no one is getting out. The realization hits. They are being watched. They are exposed. The physical danger has become immediate and visceral. The silence of the surveillance vehicle is more threatening than any sound. It signifies professional, patient threat. This evidence is putting us in danger. We need to know who else is seeing this. Like and share this video now to ensure this information cannot be suppressed. The investigation team retreats, but not before finding one final, crucial clue. Near the subterranean access point, etched roughly into a piece of abandoned electrical equipment, is a cryptic symbol, a stylized serpent coiled around a downward-pointing arrow. It is not modern military insignia. The metal is oxidized, suggesting the symbol was etched decades ago, long before HAARP was publicly conceived. The narrator pulls up a reference image on a tablet. The symbol matches an obscure, highly secretive Cold War-era military research division that officially ceased to exist in the 1970s. The division's mandate was biological and atmospheric warfare. The terrifying implication is clear. The secret is much older than HAARP. It didn't start with 21st century science. It was inherited from a secret, decades-old deep state project. This research, codenamed Project Ouroboros in the 70s, involved attempts to weaponize the planet's own resonant frequencies. The serpent biting its tail, a symbol of perpetual, self-sustaining power. The narrator is now back in the dark room, surrounded by maps and data, but the feeling is different. The investigative tone has been replaced by quiet desperation. The glow of the monitors is the only light. This is no longer about weather modification. This is about total global control. We are not looking at a project run by one agency. We are looking at a clandestine system, maintained across decades, inherited by the oversight, the people who never leave power. These are the forces who write the history books and delete the evidence, the silent operators who move trillions of dollars and determine which nations fall and which survive. The narrator uses the old military insignia found in Chapter 3 to unlock a hidden section of the dark web archive. This file is not a document, but a schematic. It is a diagram of the Earth's major crust and fault lines, overlaid with a geometric pattern of high-frequency transmission points. The pattern corresponds exactly with the locations of Shell Corporation shipping manifests. The diagram shows a dozen nodes worldwide, positioned strategically near the world's most unstable fault zones, ensuring maximum leverage for minimal energy expenditure. What we found next was not proof of a mistake. It was the complete instruction manual. This system was not built to study the atmosphere. It was built for one purpose: total devastation. The core secret is unveiled. The system is designed not to create a quake from nothing, which is impossible, but to resonate with pre-existing geological weaknesses. Tectonic stress points to amplify natural seismic instability. The 48-hour spike is a preliminary, high-energy resonance test, preparing the fault line for the main event. It is a precision weapon, not a blunt force tool. This provides the technical how and confirms the capability. It is the difference between firing a cannon and pressing the detonator on a strategically placed charge. They simply give nature the final, devastating nudge. The goal is complete seismic control, the ability to destabilize a region economically or politically under the guise of an unavoidable natural disaster, making this the perfect weapon of geopolitical leverage. A sudden flashing alert dominates the screen. It is a live feed from the HAARP data logs, a signature VLF. ULF spike has just appeared. The frequency is focused over a currently stable, densely populated area, a place with no immediate seismic warning. The pattern is identical to the ones before Japan, Haiti, and Turkey. The coordinates flash red on the screen. A major metropolitan area on the Pacific Rim, currently experiencing routine life. The narrator quickly cross-references the coordinates with known tectonic fault maps. The target is a critical junction of two minor but highly stressed fault lines. This confirms the surgical precision of the weapon. The city below is entirely unaware of the invisible, focused wave of energy now beginning its preliminary work deep beneath their foundations. This is the point of no return. The realization that another event is imminent, that they now have foreknowledge of a disaster that will harm thousands of people. The narrator's voice wavers slightly, showing a glimpse of paralyzing fear. The clock of global catastrophe has started ticking, and there is no one to call for help. The seconds feel like minutes as the narrator realizes the sheer moral weight of this silent knowledge, being the only one who sees the timer counting down to oblivion. The choice is no longer about investigation, it is about intervention. The only option is immediate, massive public dissemination. The narrator's hands fly over the keyboard, triggering a desperate, real-time action. The screen cuts to a rapid montage. The evidence collected, the data logs, the photos of the subterranean anomalies, the schematics, the financial records are compressed, encrypted, and uploaded to dozens of secure global servers, including independent news organizations, activist groups, and academic networks. The files are triple encrypted and stamped with immutable blockchain identifiers, ensuring that even if the source is silenced, the data remains verifiable. The narrator initiates a dead man's switch protocol, scattering fragments of the most damning evidence across peer-to-peer networks globally, ensuring that the total dataset can only be reconstructed if the public pieces it together. The hope is that volume and redundancy will defeat even the oversight's formidable deletion capabilities. The final frame of the montage is a large red clock, showing the remaining time until the 48-hour window closes. The clock ticks down. Time has run out for official channels. The fate of the truth is now in the hands of the digital abyss. The file sizes are enormous, pushing the limits of the network, a digital scream against the silence of the oversight. The screen is now filled with immediate, chaotic news coverage. Footage of the newly affected region, the one predicted in Chapter 4, flashes across multiple screens. The scenes are terrible, but the narrator's voice is measured and calm, a stone of certainty in the deluge of disaster. They hit the switch. We knew they would. But they didn't count on us being ready. They can cause great destruction, but they can't control the flow of information once it's released. The official casualty count will be staggering, but the information about the cause will be worse for those in power. The aftermath is swift and absolute. The official response is immediate, a coordinated counter-narrative labeling the disseminated data as misinformation, conspiracy theories, and solar flare contamination. Experts appear on cable news channels, armed with highly edited charts, refuting the claims. One scientist, an alleged expert on ionospheric physics, dismisses the UL spikes as harmonic noise from commercial shipping lanes, an explanation that is technically preposterous but politically convenient. However, the counter-narrative focuses heavily on discrediting all peripheral evidence, but they cannot logically refute the one irrefutable fact: the precise 48-hour window signature. It's the only detail they attack with coordinated fervor, claiming the timing is a statistical fluke. This focus confirms that the 48-hour spike is the hidden truth that survived. It is the linchpin they cannot escape without admitting to the conspiracy. They are fighting a battle of optics, but the hard data is winning. The tension spirals again. The narrator is watching a live feed of the global servers where the evidence was uploaded. One by one, the files begin to be forcibly deleted or corrupted. The massive, coordinated nature of the cover-up is now undeniable. It is global, it is absolute, it is professional. Digital barriers fall one after another, signifying an unprecedented, global-scale cyber counterattack launched from multiple undisclosed military servers. The narrator closes the investigation log on the laptop. The room is quiet now. The mission accomplished. But the price is about to be paid. A sharp, demanding knock echoes on the door. It is not a casual knock. It is loud, rhythmic, and instantly menacing. The narrator freezes. All the screens around the room suddenly, simultaneously go dark. The power is cut. The internet signal vanishes. They are isolated. The silence of the room after the blackout is deafening, broken only by the sound of heavy, deliberate footsteps outside the door. The screen cuts to a single, static image. It is the heavily encrypted file icon of the primary evidence log, the final file that was sent. Above the file icon, the cryptic symbol of the coiled serpent and arrow appears, glowing faintly. Text flashes onto the screen, white on black. Access code, oversight. Status, pending. The narrator's final line is a quiet assurance, a breathy promise to the darkness surrounding them. The data is out. They can't unsee it. Now you know. The truth is the weapon. The system we've uncovered is vast, operating in the shadows for decades, and its true destructive capability remains active and hidden. If this evidence has unsettled your view of the world, prove you stand with the truth by liking this video and sharing it with anyone who still trusts the official narrative. Which part of the HAARP signature or the structural proof did you find most terrifying? Comment below and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into global secrecy. Because the biggest secret isn't what they're doing with the machine, it's who they are doing it for.